storm is brewing, my brother. Word of the royal assassination attempt has spread. Now the music's too soft. The proletariats grow confident. The bourgeois are cowering. It won't be long before we have rioting. And then a revolution. Yeah, music too soft there. Maybe we just put it down before we go to court. Alright, so we're going to go to the Bibliothèque Cachée. Well, that probably messed that up real bad. Now remember, poison was wolfbane in the area, and What's-Her-Face had found some wolfbane. But that was after she bought the rose, maybe. Here for a little light reading, are we? Not quite, Sparrowson. I'm following the hunting beagle's advice. Don't eat poisoned pork? The other piece of advice. That if we were to learn about a member of royalty, we should hit the library. That makes sense. Say, Falcon, I didn't mean to ask. Since we're in a library and all, are you a classic literature fan, or do you prefer modern works? Yeah, I like modern stuff. I like modern novels. Have you read The Three Musketeers yet? There's heaps of romance, intrigue, and action. You would love it, Sparrowson. Don't patronize me, Falcon. Of course I've read The Three Musketeers. Despite its contrived narrative turns, I enjoyed the novel's scathing critique of our current socio-political climate. Well, that's quite an insightful review. Wait a minute, you just memorized that single sentence to sound well read, didn't you? Maybe. Would you messieurs mind lowering your voices? I can hear you squawking from the other side of the building. Oh, my apologies, monsieur. We'll keep it down. Wait, you're a librarian, aren't you? Astute observation. Yes, monsieur. As the only quiet person in the library, and most assuredly the librarian. But now we have your attention. My friend wants to ask you something. I do? Oh, right, I do. No. You seem like a scholarly, well-read individual. I'm sure you're up to date on geopolitical news and the like. I don't need your praise. Spit out whatever imbecilic question is in the back of your throat. Well, we understand the Spanish throne is currently under dispute. Can you give us a brief rundown of who the contenders are? What a trivial question. Even elementary school children can name the immediate heirs to every throne in Europe. Yeah, but for the sake of the children who slept through that class, can you refresh our memories? Very well. Pay attention, because I'm not repeating myself. The current reigning monarch of Spain is Queen Regnant Isabella II, the House of Bourbon, daughter of King Ferdinand VII. Upon her death, the crown would likely fall to her husband, King Consort Francis, Duke of Cadiz. That doesn't happen for the British throne. Although it is certainly possible that an immediate family member could stake a claim. However, the Queen's position is currently being disputed by the Carlists, headed by the Count of Montemillon. I hope that answers your question. Did you catch all of that, Sparrowson? Not a word. And so we're actually interested in Prince Juan Corrido of Spain. I don't think I heard that name in your explanation. The Prince? Juan Corrido? Is that what you said, monsieur? I think you've been misinformed. There is no current Prince of Spain, and I'm not even sure Corrido is a real name. There's certainly no line of any Spanish monarchy. How strange. What does this mean, Falcon? Well, one thing for sure. Our client is not the Prince of Spain. Maybe he's a delusional lunatic. Perhaps he's involving us in some sort of con. We don't have long before the trial, but maybe in our best interest to confront Prince Juan directly and get some answers. Right. Are you two quite done with the chit-chatting? I borrowed this book from a friend. What can you tell us about it? Don Quixote of La Mancha. It's a classic. Everybody has read it. Yeah, everybody. But for those who haven't, I'm not going to sit here and summarize a great work of literature for two imbeciles who are too lazy to read. Nor would I expect you to, monsieur. What can you tell us about the physical book itself? This particular book didn't come from any library, if that's what you're asking. See? There's no library stamp or card. I assume it was acquired from a bookshop. A French shop, if the French translation and publishing information wasn't a giveaway. I see. Thank you. Do you have any other questions, or can I get back to work? Don't worry, monsieur. I think we're done here. Thanks for all your time. And I bid you good day. Right, so he bought it from a French bookshop, ripped out a page, planted it as a place to pretend where he was, killed off the guard, pretending to be a Spanish prince. So that the French king would be upset with Spain. This is getting all very interesting. Okay, so we don't have a French bookshop. We don't have a bookshop. We're still not sure about the chocolate being purchased by something. So I think we need to go see... And we couldn't speak to this guy, who was also a fox, or a wolf like the other guys. So, unless R and M is the prince dude, or R, M is mousy. So then we should probably go back to La Concierge and speak to... Fox dude. You again? Visiting hours are over. Come back later. No time for your quibbling, monsieur. Stand aside. You can't talk to me like that. I most certainly can. We have reason to believe that you are housing a suspect under false pretenses. That is an indirect violation of status 204B and 488C of the French Criminal Code of Justice. Failure to comply with our request may result in you, yes, you, monsieur, being held directly responsible for any consequential legal action. Alright, no need to break out the legalese on me. Go open the cell. Wow, Falcon. How'd you memorize those criminal codes? Memorize? Come on, Sparrowson, learn how to bluff. Signor Falcon. It's good to see you again. You have some good news about my case, I hope. Confront politely. Listen, Juan. In order to maximize our chances of successful trial, I need to know every bit of information. I can't work with half-truths. You tell me one thing and the prosecution's evidence tells me another. That's too loud, and we're both in trouble. I'm afraid I don't quite follow, Signor. Do you want me to spell it out? I know you're not the Prince of Spain. And your name is not Juan Corrido. Where is this coming from? I assure you, Signor, I am who I claim to be. If you want your trial to be a farce, then you don't need my help. Come, Sparrowson, we're leaving. Wait. Calm yourself, Monsieur Falcon. I'll reveal all. Oh, I didn't know he changed his accent. Did you just say Monsieur? What happened to your Spanish accent? Your suspicions are well placed. Juan Corrido is not my middle name. I'm not the Spanish prince. Just a persona concocted for the purpose of getting arrested. Why would you want to get arrested? You're putting me in a difficult position, monsieur. I tell you the full story. Be putting someone else in danger. How about this? I'll tell you a story. I like stories. There's a girl, Mademoiselle, who in great deal of debt. Everyone had debt these days, monsieur. Everyone has a debt these days. Indeed. But this particular mademoiselle was indebted to a very powerful man, and that man wished to collect. Mademoiselle had no means of paying for the man offered her a deal. Murder this man, and I will forget what you are owed. Refuse, and I will reap what I am owed from your parents. No alternative options, and Mademoiselle accepted. But another man, a gallant knight with foolish, archaic notions of chivalry, heard the Mademoiselle's story. The knight knew the murder was inevitable, but he saw a way to take the fall in the Mademoiselle's place. Do you understand what I'm saying, monsieur? Yeah, the goose got the chocolate, or the swan, and gave it to the dude. And so he went and bought a rose from her. But I'm going to go with he's a bumbling idiot. To be honest, I'm completely lost. That's unfortunate. I thought I made the message fairly clear. Well, it doesn't matter. Let me give you a piece of advice, Monsieur Falcon. Sometimes the problem doesn't lie with one trail. Sometimes the problem lies with the justice system itself. I'm still lost. Me too. Oh dear. This is hopeless. Why don't we talk about something else? So, what is your real name? What's in a name? It's just an empty label. A vapid reflection of who we really are. Today I am Juan Carrido, this Prince of Spain. Tomorrow I may be Bruno Raya, a pauper living under a bridge of the Seine. But that doesn't change who I am or what I do. That didn't really answer my question. No, I suppose it did. But you're a smart bird, Monsieur Falcon. I suspect you already know my real name. You're Renard Volps, private investigator. I already picked that one. Very astute. And you're Monsieur Falcon, private defense attorney. That wasn't always your name, was it, Monsieur Falcon? Just like me, you know how to adopt a new persona on a whim. You changed your name, Falcon? I didn't know that. This isn't about me. Juan, Renard, Monsieur. We're trying to uncover the truth here. Of course. So what truth is it you're attempting to uncover, Monsieur Falcon? Do we have any more questions for you, Juan? I think we've learned all we can for now. Really? I don't feel we've learned very much. Oh, Monsieur Falcon. Before I forget. Did you find Mousy and ask him whether the birds have successfully flown south for the winter? Whether the birds have flown south? What is that? Some sort of code? Something like that. Be rest assured, Monsieur, this does directly pertain to the case. If I have the time, I'll be sure to let Mousy know. Let's make a move, Sparrowson. Trial day is approaching. Right. Where's the goose? Or the swan, I should say. Going back to the chocolatier. Did we ask him if the goose lady bought the chocolate? The swan? Why do I keep saying goose? Falcon, what are you doing? It's trial day. We have a Spanish prince to defend. Oh, right. What was I thinking? No, but... No, here we go. Once again, Falcon and Sparrowson find themselves waiting outside the doors of the Tribunal de Grande Instance. Are you feeling nervous, Falcon? Yes. Of course I'm nervous. What if we learn about Prince Juan? What do we know about the real murderer? Nothing. Easy there, Falcon. We can do this. Signor Falcon, I trust everything is in order. Absolutely. I have every intention of bringing the truth to light in this trial. Ah, such confidence. That's magnificent to see. And bringing the truth to light, you say. An admirable goal, no? More adjusting imaginary giants. All of you cease your yammering, the door's opening. Here we go. Buena suerte, Signor Falcon. We will. Are we ready? We're ready. Jayjay. Severin. Nervous? Why would I be nervous? I'm not nervous. I'm as calm as a cuckoo. You're the nervous one. This whole courtroom is nervous. Well, cool your feathers, Falcon. Terrible. You can't even maintain a stoic facade. I thought this trial would be the perfect opportunity for you to redeem your previous embarrassments. But if this is how you act before the trial has even started. Why, you pompous-tailed posture perfect. Order! Order, let's all settle down. Court is now in session. Psst, Falcon? What is it? Is it me? Or does the primary judge look hairier today? That's a different judge, the one who resided over Dame Cataline's trial, you doofus. Oh. Still, it's a little strange, isn't it? It is a little, I suppose. Excuse me, Your Honour. I was under the impression that Judge Maxime would be residing over this case. Where is he? Judge Maxime has gone on temporary sick leave due to a terrible accident with a flight of stairs. Rest assured, assures, prosecutor, defence and members of the jury that I am more than qualified to fill his shoes. Without further ado, let's get this show underway. This is the trial of Prince Juan Corrido, who stands accused of murdering Major Howe and of conspiring to murder the king himself. Roll call. The defence is present and ready, Your Honour. The prosecution is ready, Your Honour. Good. Very good. I expect this to be a nice, speedy trial. I don't want to see this dragged out by technicalities and bureaucracy. Well said, Your Honour. I expect that once the court sees the overwhelming evidence, this trial will be over in 5 minutes. 5 minutes? He's just messing with your head, Falcon. Keep it together. So we're all on the same page. Excellent. Prosecutor, please call your first witness to the stand. Very well. I call police officer who investigated the crime scene. I call upon Inspector Jayjay Falcon. Step up to the stand, Inspector. Recite the oath. I swear to speak without hatred, without fear, and to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth. Please recite your name and occupation for the court record. My name is Inspector Jayjay Falcon. I'm a servant to the law, scourge of the gutter rats. That will do, Inspector. We've all heard your monologue before. Wow, Cocoricho's really gone for the speed record, isn't he? Now, can you tell us what you witnessed in the morning of the 7th of January? Of course. At 10 o'clock in the morning, I was called to the Louvre's Grand Gallery by one of the King's Royal Guards. Did he just say o'clock? There I saw Prince Juan, King Louis Philippe, and corpse of Major Howe with a rose in hand, and around 24 citizens. The citizens and the King himself all attest to seeing Major Howe taking the rose from Prince Juan's hand, and then promptly dropping dead. And what did the morgue uncover upon examination of the corpse? The coroner determined with absolute certainty Major Howe died of poisoning. Aside from a prick upon the finger, there was no sign of external harm to Major Howe's body. Therefore, the poison rose must have been the cause of death. Put the pieces together, that does seem very implicative of the prince. I have no further questions. Damn, I was hoping that coroner's report would determine the guy died from a freak heart attack or something. That would make for a particularly speedy trial, wouldn't it? But no, we aren't so lucky. Something else must be amiss in the old bird's testimony. Right, I'll tear it apart. Your Honour, I wish to cross-examine the witness. Falcon, wasn't it? Don't waste the court's time. A ranking police officer would never lie on the witness stand. I wouldn't accuse the inspector of lying. I just want to make sure that every base is properly covered. It sounds so pointless nitpicking to me, but I'll allow it for now. Go on, Falcon. Do your cross-examination. Let's select a statement. It was 10 o'clock. Okay. Wow. Okay, so we know it's Major Howe. We're not disputing that. The fact that there were 24 citizens probably doesn't matter. The poisoning is an issue. But why was the rose... Did the rose have poison on it? The other option is 10 o'clock in the morning. Let's check the poisoning first. We have not much evidence. Inspector, you say the coroner determined with certainty Major Hal was killed by poison. Correct. He stated the signs and symptoms were textbook. There is no possibility that his death was natural. Did the coroner mention specifically what kind of poison it was? He was not certain. At first the coroner posited that it was a plant-borne poison, like that of the aconite flower. When we learned how fast the poison had taken effect, he noted that was atypical of aconite. Consequently, he suggests it may have been some newly engineered concoction. A newly engineered poison, you say? Well, that only reaffirms that this was a very deliberate assassination attempt. Indeed. Do you have another question about the poison? Yes. How was Major Hal poisoned? How exactly was Major Hal poisoned? What was the delivery mechanism? His finger was pricked by the poisoned rose. He even commented out loud about it seconds before dying. All 22 citizens who witnessed the murder attested to hearing this. Is there any possibility he was poisoned by something else? What an absurd thing to ask, Jayjay. You just heard that 22 people saw the victim prick his finger and die. What are you suggesting? That the pricked finger had no relation to the poisoning? That's exactly what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. I don't doubt that Major Hal was poisoned, but I do doubt the rose was the cause. Unbelievable. Only a total buffoon could fail to draw the blatant link here. And Jayjay, as tempting as it is to sit here and lecture you on the basics of cause and effect, I'll end this discussion painlessly. Inspector, please tell the defense you found traces of poison on the thorns of the rose itself. That should alleviate all doubt the rose was, in fact, the poison delivery mechanism. Actually, I can't tell him that. I tried to ask, but why not? Well, we didn't check the rose for traces of poison. It just seemed obvious the rose caused the poisoning given the timing of the incident. Well then, now would be a good time to make a test. Here's a marvellous thought. We prick the finger of the defendant with the rose. If there's no poison on the rose, Prince Juan lives, and he is free to go. If the rose is poisoned, then Prince dies, but that's okay because the punishment would be just fitting of the crime. A marvellous suggestion. What is this, a witch trial? This is an America, Severin. That's not how we do things here. Calm your feathers, Jayjay. It was clearly a joke. There are far more humane ways of testing poison. I'm sure the inspector will perform his duty with due diligence. Actually, won't be able to test rose poison at all. Why is that? Given the dangerous nature of the flower, it was destroyed by a police force. We burned it to ashes. Such unprofessionalism. If we have no way to know whether the rose is poisoned, this whole trial ought to be called into question. Nice try, Jayjay. But through the process of reasoning by elimination, we can still deduce with absolute certainty that the rose was poisoned. In other words, there was nothing else at the crime scene that could have caused the poisoning. Wrong. There was something else at the crime scene that could have contained poison. Something the investigative police blindly overlooked. The chocolate. Look at this. What am I supposed to be looking at? It is the paper-wrapped piece of chocolate. It was found in the Louvre, the Salle de Thibaut to be precise. We can date its consumption to the date of the incident. You're not suggesting that Major Hal ate a piece of poisoned chocolate moments before he died? I most certainly am. Intriguing. Pretty convincing. We've gained a little favour with the jury. Did you see this wrapper at the crime scene for yourself, Inspector? The police force does not have the time nor resource to trawl every piece of trash at every crime scene, I'm afraid. In other words, you have looked at astounding unprofessionalism. Prosecution is right to be disgusted. What disgraceful display, Inspector. Now for my apologies, Your Honour. I don't want your apologies. I want you to do your damned job properly. Get off the witness podium before I kick you off myself. As you wish. I'll take my leave. Till next time, messieurs. So let me get this straight. This chocolate wrapper was found at the crime scene. Correct. And you have reason to believe it was consumed on the day of the incident. I have an expert food tasting witness who is willing to testify if need be. You have a foodie witness? I don't recall anyone like that. Who on earth are you talking about, Falcon? Oh, I see. But do you know for certain that Major Howell consumed this chocolate? Well, that is a fact we are still investigating. I see. And do you have evidence that this chocolate was, in fact, poisoned? Again, that is something that may require a little more time to definitively prove. So then, in actuality, you do not have evidence that Major Howell consumed some poisoned chocolate. Doesn't the prosecution need the evidence though? Instead, you have a solitary piece of rubbish that you pluck straight out of the gutter. That's weak even for you, JJ.